All right, everyone, we will go ahead and get started. Just want to make sure everyone can hear me and see me. If you can, please go ahead and just shoot me a question and say yes or a chat, either or. All right, so today I figured we'd kind of change it up a bit. Actually, not really change it up. We've been doing a lot of geometric kind of rings and designs, but I kind of like these. These are super popular, right? I can actually probably complete this without even using parametrics, but I do want to, make the top parametric just because it like, let's say I want to change the size of it, right? That would be pretty cool to have. So this is what I'll be doing quickly today. We only have about 20 minutes left. So this is kind of what I was saying earlier, Ken, right? By the time everything's done, we have an hour, right? So only have realistically 20 to 30 minutes to model. So it's hard to do an extravagant design, right? So the first thing I want to do is bring out a ring rail. All your rings should naturally start with a ring rail. I'll probably sprinkle in some non-parametric commands just to kind of show you guys that you can, do them together. Just a few side notes. I model fully in the perspective view, just because it gives me and you guys the largest view. So I will switch between them. You can switch between them right here if you want. So from here, right, I want to go to my front view. I want to type offset. And what that's going to do is allow me to offset my ring rail a certain distance. So I can select that distance and type my own value. So I want to do 1.9. And now I just offsetted that ring rail, right? So from here, if we take a look at the design, right, we kind of need to determine how big our pyramid, or I forget what a four-sided pyramid is called, probably just a four-sided pyramid, but we need to determine, how big it is. Looking at the picture, there's a slight kind of inward taper right here, so I'd have to imagine we can kind of decipher that a bit. What I want to do up here under split is right click and then select my offset curve. And with my snaps on, I can hold shift and it's going to snap to the quad. So I left click there, and right click. So now it's split essentially in half. You can do it a couple of ways. You can trim it off, stuff like that. But the next thing I want to do is come up here and I want to do at least 1.5. So now I have a 1.5 length curve right here. I want to, being the line curve is what I just used, I can right click again to rerun the same command, and I'll hit the top of that line. And now I have a line that I can pull out this way. I want to toggle both sides right here, and it'll give me both sides. So what I want to do is hold shift. That way it snaps to my 45s and just go straight across and left click. So now I have these two, right? So here's where we can get an arc direction. And we can choose where we want to put that piece, right? Do something like that. Okay, so I can take this and hit the mirror, select the curve that we had, hit the mirror, And now it's asking, where do you want to mirror from, right? So I can hit F4, which is going to be my origin right here, and go straight up. So now we just need to do a bit of trimming, right? So I can type the trim command with all my curves selected and just trim away. All right. So the next thing I do for this, right? These are two separate, right? If I were to extrude these, there would be a seam right here because it's a hard edge. So I want to get a curve, come right here, a circle rather, come right here and just pop a circle right there. And then I want to mirror to the other side. Again, hold shift and go straight up and get it to the other side. Now with these selected, I can trim one more time and trim the insides of these. Whenever you're done, you can just delete them. So that opened it up, right? And now I want to blend CRV. So what blend curve is, it will get a nice soft blend between these two open curves. So I select one side, select the other side, and you can see it gave me that nice blend. So again, because they are symmetrical and everything I did to this side, I did to this side, I can just mirror, right? So again, hit the mirror from F4, go straight up. And lastly, we can join everything. So right here, I have the join command. So here it says 6 curves joined into one closed curve, right? All right. So this one right here, I really don't need, so I can select and delete. Now there's a few options we can do from here. Let's go front view. Let's get a linear dimension, right? Because this will be our size, right? So 19.81 in length. All right, so what I want to do, we can see from here, right? It's got a bit of a taper. And then it's got an opening right here. So let's go ahead. If my mouse will come back to me. 19.81. I thought it would stay, but I guess it doesn't. I'm just going to type it in here so I don't forget it. All right. Let's select it and delete. So our top, right, needs to be 19.81. So let's get a curve at the very top. And I can go. So it's going this way, right? But I want to go this way. So if I do 19.81 divided by 2, so that's 9.955. So here I can type 9. So now that curve should be, let's measure it to make sure we are correct. 19 point, did I do the wrong dimensions? 19.81. I did. Let's try that again. $9.905. So we want to select both sides. 9.905. Enter. There we go. All right, so if I go to perspective, you can see what I did, right? So here is where we can get our taper. So we can go right view. This is our top, right? This is our bottom. So to get that taper, we can get an arc direction and do something like this, right? Kind of taper it. You can hit F10 to select your points, and you can pull it. What I want to do is kind of make it softer up here. So I want to select that curve and type rebuild. 10 is fine. So let's hit 10 and let's hit F10 one more time. So you can see I now have 10 points. So I'm going to select these and just kind of make them a little bit softer. And that should be good. So now, because I selected this, right? If I go to perspective, you can see that arc that I made is not planar, right? I need it on my C plane. So let's go right. Let's select it and let's go project to C plane. Delete input. Yes. So now if I go back, you can see it's now directly in the middle. Let's delete this. All right. So what we need to do now, go right. I want to take this and mirror to the other side. So mirror from F4, hold shift. And now I just want to make a box around here. So with lines, I can we can join these. I need to extend these just a little bit. So let's go 0.1. All right, so now they are symmetrical and I can draw my line across. So for those that are kind of following, this will be the side shape of my ring. Let's join these together. If I go to perspective, you can see what I have here now, right? The easiest way to kind of get that shape right now is going to be to select them and extrude, right? So let's go to solid, let's extrude. So here I have both sides at the bottom. And what I want to do is make sure I go a little bit past here. So that way, when I cut using this, it'll get rid of the excess. Capiche? All right, so here we can do what's called a wire cut because I have a wire and a solid object, right? So let's type wire cut. Select cutting curve. Select object. Enter when done. Right click. And you can see I can turn on both sides. And whenever I extend out, because this is my cutter, right? It says, hey, part to cut away. So we can invert and cut away the outside. I don't really need this anymore. I can delete it. Right, so here's going to be my shape in nice, simple surfaces. All right, so now we need to do the split shank, right? If we look back at the picture, it's kind of a split shank. So the way I do my split shanks is I select my object and I hold Alt and a move it down like this. Then I pull it up. Something like this. And then I can extend it. It's not going to give me what I was hoping for, but maybe up a little bit more. Yeah, I'm just going to do another wire cut. So actually, let's go back to my curve. And we can use this curve again. So let's go right. Let's change the color. And let's shrink it. And that should be okay right here. So let's hide this. What I want to do is make it more to a point, right? So I can get an arc down here. Arc direction. I can find my mid and kind of blend it off. Let's mirror from F4. Then I can select these and trim. Make sure there's no doubles in here. Which it does not look like it. Let's split this top off real quick. And then we can join these. Let's hit F10. Kind of straighten him out a bit. And actually what I will do is split this side off. That way I can just mirror. So you can see this is where X-ray comes in. Let's go to 10. So we need to probably pull it out. Something similar to this. I'm sure you guys kind of understand what I'm trying to get at here. I could also duplicate this edge and offset it just like I did in the beginning. So something like that. And then I'll just mirror this one from F4. And now I can blend these two. Let's hide. Blend, CRB. And what this will do, it'll allow me to shorten it, but also give it a little bit of a nice arc. Let's join them all. Let's show our object. There we go. And now we can extrude, just kind of doing the easy way here. And Boolean difference. So I want the poly surface from this. If I right click, I can GB hide this one. Why is he not hiding? There we go. I like to clean up a lot of this, so I'll just hide all of this, right? And now we have a base for our triangles, right? So I can do a couple things here. I can just get a line, draw it. So now they should all be equal. Let's measure them to make sure our math is correct. Hey, we did it. We did it. If you guys have any questions, please shoot them away. I know I'm kind of going a little bit fast, but we're kind of running out of time. So I was going to do this parametrically, but again, we're running out of time. So what I'll do now is go front view, and here's where we can determine our height. You know, I don't know what a good one would be, maybe 8 millimeters from finger row. Yeah. So let's go 8. Enter. Yeah, that's good. And then let's project to C-plane this curve. So now he should be directly in the middle, right? So what we can do now is connect the dots. We can join this one. Yeah, we know it broke. Delete it. So what should be able to happen now is if I rotate with copy from F4, they should all match up, which they do, right? So let's Control Z that. All right. So there's a few things we can do from here. Let's see. Whoa. Wonder if make surface is still here. Yeah. Okay, so what I did real quick, I select my curve, right? It's a single curve. I hit F6, go under the surface menu here, and there's make surface. And what that does, it just makes that curve that I had selected into a surface, right? I can then select this curve and offset CRV on surface. Base surface, offset distance. Let's go 0.8. Enter. Now I have 2 planar curves, right? I could do a couple things here, depending. I could select this and trim out the inside and then extrude. I think I want it a little bit thicker here, right? So let's select it, offset CRV on surface, select base surface. Let's go through point and just kind of eyeball it. Let's go here. Okay. So what I need to do, go through view. So there's a few things, right? I could turn my gumball by holding Control like this and just extend it, which is probably the simplest way, and then cut the excess, right? Let's see if it'll. Let's go front. Again, let's turn the gumball holding Control to realign it, and let's extend it. See if it'll work. No, that's okay. I'll just go ahead and do this way. front. Let's go, because they should be planar. So we can just do like this and extrude it. Let's hide this and did it both ways when it should just be one direction, but I don't need that underlying surface anymore. So let's hide it. I just use that surface because if I were to just type offset and offset this curve, it kind of sometimes doesn't make it planar. That's generically Rhino. So when you offset on a surface, it's more reliable. All right, so let's go front view. Extrude planar curve. I do not need both sides, right? Probably want it a little thicker than that. Jesus. I'm just gonna cheat real quick. Make it look okay. Don't you do it. All right, there we go. All right, so if you guys don't know what I just did, if you sub-select, which is holding Control and Shift, you can select edges, right? So using that, I just kind of pulled the edge to kind of eyeball it a bit. You can see it's a little longer, so what we can do is take the bottom end just a tad. It's a quick way. I wouldn't do this on like extremely complex surfaces. This is a pretty simple surface, so that's why it works. So yeah, then I can take this and I can rotate with copy. So right click the rotate from F4. I can go out holding shift, left click, and then holding shift again, I can just bounce around. Right click. And if everything is done, we should have done it correctly. So yeah, you can fillet this to kind of make it look better, et cetera, but that's the gist. It looks like theirs was probably a little bit taller, but I think you guys understand. Any questions? It would be easier to see your lines and what you're doing if they were a different color than your model. Oh, whenever I'm doing a creation curve, is that what you mean? Yeah, whenever you get it like on YouTube, you can kind of watch it and slow it down. I know I ran a little bit fast, but I was trying to hurry. So just to kind of show you guys, you can also fillet the edges. Definitely not 1 millimeter. Let's do like 0.2. Select them all. Not that one. Make it a little bit better. And probably this one too. There we go. All right. Any questions? And kind of do a quick render preview. Let's do this. Let's go to ray traced. Let's turn this to 50. Let's select everything. We'll open our render studio, kind of show you guys. I like to use ray trace viewport as kind of a template, right? I like the yellow gold, so let's apply that. We can change this. I can go into the render materials, toggle only show materials in use. You know, if you wanted like a, I don't think it shows in the actual ray trace viewport, but you can change the render to like a bead blast satin. If you want to upload a custom finish, you can do that. You can also come here and change the color. Let's say you have a casting grain that's a little more yellowish. You can right click. Let's change our ground plane. I don't know what this one is. So just a gray slate. All right, back to shiny car paint. I know you guys know I love that, right? So we can do something like this, kind of stage it. Choose our resolution, our passes. If you want to adjust reflections, lighting, so your lighting, right? This will change the look of the model. I like this one, which is the multi-area. Let's render. I have a few questions for after, if you have time. Yeah, sure. Where are you located, Chuck? Seattle. Okay. Yeah. Do you want me to call you, or do you want to just stay on here? Can I use keyboard shortcuts like Matrix 9? How can I install it? Yeah, any type of keyboard shortcuts. Any type of keyboard shortcuts would definitely be in the Rhino options. All of that's done, you know, through Rhino options. Let's add a little rectangle light right here, though. Let's pull it up on tap. Kind of get. So in this one, in this software, we are using Cycles, which is a ray trace render. So you literally have to think of the render room like real life. It takes in all the trying to think of the word, like all of the lighting, reflections, all that. It kind of takes everything into consideration. So let's run. I don't think I fully answered the keyboard shortcuts. If you type options, that's the Rhino options. All of those under there, there'll be a keyboard. That's how, you know, Matrix 9 was done. So that's how it's kind of just a Rhino thing, you know. So the way ray tracing works, takes an initial screenshot and sends that pixel throughout the room. It will take a number of passes. Here I designated 188, right? So 188 passes, it's cycling them one by one. Whenever it's done, we can put post effects if we want, or you can save, you know, all the good things. All right. how is weight determined? So weight's determined by the specific gravity of the material, right? So here I chose specific gravity and the volume of the piece. So this is the yellow gold I chose. I can come here and edit my specific gravity if you have it. If not, it's just done via volume. To choose it, you can come here under view. You can open up metal weights and you can calculate. Let's select it and calculate. So here it's giving you all of your metal weights, 10K. This is in grams. This is in pennies, etc., etc. Sure. $13.0714. Yeah, I don't know the specific gravities per se, but you if whatever is the default is not what you guys use, you can come in here, you know, we can apply the 14, come under render materials. Let's refresh. Yeah, so this one is 13 essentially. So 0.07 off from what yours is. Every grain is different. All right, guys, any more questions? I know Chuck has a few, so everybody, see you next week. Thanks again. Yeah, Ted, no problem, man. Hope you all have a great day and a wonderful week. We will see you again next time, all right? All right, take care.